Okay, today I'm going to be doing a picture of an owl flying. I did a sort of a semi-realistic owl yesterday, but today I wanted to do a more realistic one. And this is, excuse my dog scratching at the door. So this one I wanted to do much more realistic, and I'm going to use my traditional watercolours, my Schminkeys. So it's going to be more drawing based than it is painting based. So I'm just going to have a little light colouring on him. So I'm just going to start by drawing his body. So I'll just draw. These guys are quite, they're oval shaped, or this one is anyway. So I'm just going to draw the basic shape in. I'm going to do him about that long. That. And I'm using a few different references for this drawing. I'm going to utilise a few different ones to make one picture. So this guy's got the flatter sort of face. His beak's there. I'm going to do a lot more pencil. Oops, excuse my dog being a little pain in the bottom. Where's my eraser? What did I do with my eraser? I always lose my eraser. It's the first thing I do in any stream, is lose my eraser. Okay, so I'll draw his eye. They've got beautiful big eyes, these owls. Change the angle of his beak a little bit as well. I just felt like doing quite a detailed drawing today, because my favourite thing on earth to do is to draw. Makes my soul incredibly happy. Okay. Now his wings is the same length. So they balance with their wings. So his wings are the same length as the length of his body. And they almost, I'm just going to draw in the rough shape. I will add the feathers in a minute. I'm just going to draw the shape of the wing in for a start. And then this wing comes down here. He's got his wings down. And he's sort of lilted a bit to the right, so that wing's going to be a little bit lower. I'll draw the detail in a minute. And he's got his claws, his talons out the back, so he's got his feet sort of curled. Like that. Okay, and now I just start to draw the shapes of the feathers in. I've got his proportions about right. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Hang on. I'm going to change that. Go to my other reference. I've just got to adjust a little bit. It's like his tail feathers are there, like that. Then he's got his wing feathers come here. Quite long and beautiful. It's a bit better. They're quite rounded. And they're all sort of touching each other, like that. Now he's got also Oops, excuse my little dog scratching at the door. She can't come in because she barks at me when I stream. And it's a lot of editing to edit out her barking every single video. So she can just stay in the other room. Okay. A longer feather there. Light feathers are just beautiful. I just really felt like drawing a more detailed picture. Okay, I'm happy with that. Again, I'll draw the underside of these feathers are much lighter. Come down around like that. They sort of come to a point at the front. That one's a pointy one. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to erase some of these excess lines. Now, let's get rid of those. And I'm using smooth watercolour paper today. Let's get rid of these excess lines. I will be doing more detail on them, but I'm just going to draw that in with my pencil. So I'm actually just going to mark in where he's going to be darker, where his feathers patterns are, with pencil first. I'm going to shade in the shadowy bits as well. I'm going to do a lot of the work. Hey Playboy, how are you, mate? I'm going to do a lot of the work, a lot of the shadows with my pencil, and I'll go over the top with watercolour at the end. Just a fun way of slightly different way of doing watercolours. Having the base drawing almost complete in pencil first. Going to draw these feathery details in. Coming down his wing. And work my way to the front. He's got very downy sort of feathers coming down here. So I'm just going to bejaggedy this line a little bit so it's softer. Let's keep these feathers soft coming down here. He's got little ones that overlap on the top there like that. All right, now continue on. These camouflage them when they're sitting in trees and in barns and wherever they sit. These stripes on them, it helps them be camouflaged and disappear into their surroundings. And drawing is very relaxing, and I do love to draw. I really felt like it today. Okay, just continuing on down all the way, following the same pattern. He's got lots of little dots on his back as well and lots of feathery bits. I've got to soften up his feathers on his back as well. Keep my lines a bit soft. I can blend them out as well with a smudgy stick. Like you can use like a makeup pen, a makeup brush thing, like a little soft, or a Q-tip would do the job just as well. Just to blend the pencil if you want to. I'm just going to leave the little pencil marks because I don't mind them at all. Lots of people erase their pencil. I love to see a drawing. Like I love watching other people and seeing how their techniques and how they create their work. And I love, like seeing brush strokes in a painting, I love to see the pen marks in the underdrawing. So I very rarely, if ever, erase pencil. I always leave it so it's visible. Continuing on down. sitting here holding my eraser and it was making my hand sore because I was using it like a, what do you call it? What are those stress ball things? I was like squeezing my eraser like a stress ball, so I need to put it down so I don't hurt my hand. Okay, now I'm going to draw a line down this feather. As you can start to see a little bit of detail. Like that. On the bottom of these feathers. And this is just a mechanical pencil. It's not even, nothing special. Just a mechanical pencil that you can get from any shop, anywhere. Nothing fancy. You can draw with anything you've got. I just love these pencils because they're just easy to replace the leads in, and you can get them anywhere, which makes life a bit easy. And I'm all for being and having an easy life. Okay, continuing on down the wing. This one's got the spine of that feather comes down there. Okay, the only thing I will erase, if I get any smudges around the outside, I will erase those. Continue on around. Draw the little feathery bits on the end at the bottom. Okay. Now, it's got a little fuzzy bit on the top of his wing. I'm just going to mark that in just carefully. Then he's got downy sort of feathers there. And these ones are all just dots. Lots and lots of dots. So I'm just going to mark those in. Try not to have them set to too much of a pattern. I can also do some of the shading with my pencil. Okay, now this wing, there are lots of dots. Okay, and he's got much lighter feathers underneath, so I'm not going to do as much detail under there as I did on the top. One, they're more distant and they are more pale. You can just see the shadows of the patterns on the top of the feathers, like that. So I'll just soften that. Like that. Continue down. There we go. Now I'm going to draw in, I'm going to shade in the pupil, the iris. His eyes are almost blacked out because you can't really see the detail. Draw his little beak. I'm just going to shadow that. Darken up underneath. And anywhere that I can see that needs a little bit darker. I'm just doing mainly a pencil drawing, and I will watercolour over the top just to soften it a little. Draw these little spots in his feathers on his body. Darken up under his wing a little. That's going to be shadow area under there anyway. He's in shadow under there. I'm just going to darken that up a little bit. Pop some more of this detail, these feathery dots. He does have lots and lots of these little dots. It's all part of his camo. And his face has got all the featherage that goes around. Just having a quick look, I've got to shadow the front a little bit. Going towards his beak, like that. Soften up his feathers on his belly. Like that. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that, I think. Pretty happy with that. That's a base drawing. Alright, so just gonna fluffy up the edges of his wings under here. Alright, now I'm going to spritz my watercolour with my spray bottle here. And I'm just going to use muted sort of colours because his browns and flecks, and there's a lot of white. There's a lot of white on him. So I'm going to do a blue background first, I think. I'll do his background first. I'll do a light blue sky, I think. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure my brush is clean, and I'm going to come all around the bird. I'm going to cut around him with my watercolour brush. Just wet the paper all over. Wet it all over. And then I'll drop the blue in on top of that. So just going to wet all around his body. We can come onto the wings a little bit. Won't hurt. Okay. And this is, hot press paper, so it's smooth watercolour paper. Okay, now I'm going to drop the blue in. So I'm going to go just straight in for my cobalt and drop that in the top. I have to help it come down a little bit. All around, I've got to pick up the bead so it doesn't run onto the bird. The bead's the leading edge of the paint that puddles. I don't really want it to puddle. Come around the wing. And by wetting the paper, it just helps the watercolour to flow. So that's called wet in wet. So I've got very diluted watercolour. Oops, doesn't matter if I get it onto the wing at all. You can see it's going onto the bird's back at the top, so I'm just going to lift that off carefully. Oops, clean my brush, take the moisture off it, and just rub over that. I just want to get rid of that little bit of, touch that with my bit of cloth just to dry that off. Okay. Now while the paper's still wet, I've got to keep on moving so that I don't, paper doesn't dry on me. Oops, today's, and I wipe that off. You get it quick, and it's going to be browner there anyway, so it's not a problem. Paper's drying fast. Yay, Australian heat. All right. I'm just going to leave that like that. I'm not going to worry too much. Okay. Got to let that dry a fraction. I'm going to grab my smaller brushes, and I am going to start to add colours onto the bird. Oh, got to get my spritzer. Re-wet my paints again. I'm going to grab a little bit, I've got a bit of Payne's Grey here. I'm going to pop this on his eye, on his pupil, like that, leaving the white of the paper. It's the white of the bird. Hello, Fishy, how are you? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I love drawing. Do love drawing. So I'm going to... Oh, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. Shout out. Thank you, mate. Shout out. Oh, actually, I'll just do it over here. Shout out. And welcome, welcome. Shout out. Fishy. Oh. Puppy. Puppets. Not puppies. Whoops. So what are you doing today, Fishy? I do art too. I'm letting something I'm working on dry. Oh, cool. Cool. Love meeting other artists. So what are you working? What are you painting today? Puppets? Yeah. I nearly called you Puppy. All right, so I'm gonna put a little wash. I'm just gonna dampen on this wing. My next puppet. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Okay, now I'm going to use transparent sienna and I'm just going to let that wash down the wing. So what sort of puppets? Like marionettes? So many different. Muppet puppets? I love the Muppets. I do love the Muppets. I am partial to a Muppet. I'm a Fozzie Bear and Kermit the Frog person. So I can see his back is a warmer brown. I'm going to keep this simple. This is not going to be a complex piece. I'm going to wet his back and drop in. See what I did there? I shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. I just went over his foot a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Not the end of the world. I'm just going to drop in this beautiful golden brown. The background's pretty well dry. And coming up to the white of his face. It's a very simple drawing. I'll have to pop a follow on your channel, mate, because I love watching other artists as well. And he's darker down this part of his wing. I used my Gunzai Tumby paints yesterday and they're very, very strong, very pigmented. And I'm like, oh, they were strong. And I was thinking, what can I do with them? But then I thought, no, I'm just going to do my favourite. And also a problem with my channel I found that is that on iPad you can't add sounds too short. So I'm kind of stuck with it. Oh, so what I do, I've got Epidemic Sound. So it's called Epidemic Sound. And you can, I have a subscription, but you don't have to have a subscription. It'll give you a certain amount of music for free. So Google Epidemic Sound, sign up, and you'll get a certain amount of free, royalty-free music that you can use on your videos. And I use that on all of my videos, all of my shorts. So I pay a subscription, but you don't have to. You can get some for free. Highly recommend it. And they've got all different, like they've got whimsical music, they've got cinematic, you name it, they've got it. And I use it for everything. And I use, for my editing, an app called KineMaster, KineMaster, and it's a They also have partial free. You can use it for free. It just has a watermark, but who cares? Highly recommend it. Been using it for years. So highly recommend it. I'm subscribed to both. I pay a subscription because I want, because I use it all the time. So highly recommend it. I'm going to darken up under his tum. And this is pretty much one colour there. I've got it now. So I'm going to leave it like that. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I do have to add a little bit of shadow, but I'm going to use a bit of blue, diluted, super diluted, into the shadow areas around his face. Pretty much the same blue that's in the sky. All right. Now I'm going to add these feather. I'm just going back to my other reference because these feathers are brown, or they've got brown, these lines on them are brown. So I'm just going to go over these marks with a stronger brown. Oh, it's the same colour, just less water, more pigment. Less water, more pigment. Just to reinforce the strength. And I'm leaving the pencil marks underneath because I like them. Just continue on, go over them. And it's super simple. Like, this is a very simple technique. Less is more. It's almost impression. It's sort of semi-realistic. I wouldn't call it hyper-realistic, but I like my animals to look real. But I'm not a photorealist. I'd love to be. When I grow up, I'll be a photorealist. Which means it looks exactly like the photograph. I can't do that. I still have a little bit of my own impression in there. And everyone sees things just a little bit different. Okay. It's looking all right. I was never good with watercolours. It's a learning journey. Constant learning journey. I'm still learning. I've been at it for 30 years and I'm still learning. Like, I used the Kuretake paints yesterday and I had no idea what I was doing. They're completely different to anything I've ever used. It was fun, but completely different to anything I've ever done. So, and I did sort of a cartoony, simple owl yesterday. It wasn't a realistic one. I went mad with colours and had really bright ones. I better with acrylics and gouache. I just started doing acrylics again recently. I did this little bird here. Oh, I'll show you I did this finch with acrylic. So here was my last acrylic painting that I did last week or the week before. I do love acrylic, I have to say. I tend to do a lot of watercolour. And I have gouache, and I do love gouache, and I was going to dig it out today, but it's buried at the back of my paint cupboard, so I've got to dig it out. I'm just going to put these little dots. I've got to strengthen them a little bit. And also, I'm not patient enough to work with watercolours. Oh, neither am I. Don't you worry. Yeah, I love the detail you can get. I'm not patient enough for oil paints. Like, I love watching oil painters, but there's no way. No way have I got the patience to do it. I cannot wait for weeks for things to dry. I'm a same day. I start and finish in the same day. I'm very, very fast. That's why I love drawing, I think, because it's instant. Instant. Okay. I'm going to add, how am I going to do this? Okay, I'm going to get a bit more of this transparent sienna. I've got to pop it onto these. I've got to get a bit of variation. In these little marks on his wings. Just don't have to go over every single one, just most of them, but not every single one. Let's go blip, 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 blip. But yeah, I love watching oil painters. But I have not. I definitely the longest picture I ever did was a portrait of Matthew McConaughey, and it was a pencil drawing, and it took me 3 days. But that was the only one that's ever taken me that long. Usually, I'm a start and finish in 1 day, with no fussing around. One of my projects I had to spread out over the week took 12 hours. Wow. Yeah. See, yeah. I lose the motivation. I lose interest. Like once I've started something, if I don't finish it, I get bored. Which is very bad, but that's okay. Well, it takes all kinds, doesn't it? Now, where's my burnt umber? Actually, you know what I could use? Oh, no, I will use burnt umber. I'll use my burnt. Oh, that's it there. Okay. And I'm just going to darken up some of these wing feathers just here. Just the patterns going down his wings. Just for a little bit of variation. He's all one colour otherwise. He's a bit flat looking. We don't want him to look like a flat bird. I have oil paints, but I haven't tried them. See, I've got the water mixables because I can't use chemical here because we're on a farm and we don't have anywhere to dispose of anything. So I've got the water mixable, and they're really lovely, but they just don't have the gloss either. And they can dry faster because it's water, not terps or meth or whatever the mediums that they use in oils. So water, because it works on evaporation to dry. The water mixable ones dry fast, like in a day or two, not weeks. But it just doesn't have the same gloss. Even the projects that's drying right now, I took 4 hours, but it's somehow not messy, even though I work fast. Okay. So you're making a video of it? Actually, I'm going to follow you now. I'm going to find you on YouTube. Fishy Pearl Puppets. Let's go find you on YouTube. See if I can make an acrylic. Fishy Pearl Puppets. Fishy Pearl Puppets. Yay! Okay, I've subbed. There you go. I'll have to check out your work after. Did post about it? Cool. It's going to darken up the very bottoms of these. I could even add a little bit of red because red's quite a lovely colour that will complement the brown. I'm not going to darken up all of these. Actually, I'm going to dilute it a little bit more. Have that because this other wing is further away, so it's not going to be as vibrant. But I still need the definition of the slightly darker detail. Just blob that on. Like that. And this is pretty much how I do my wildlife sketches, because I do a lot of going out and drawing animals in the wild, which I will be doing this weekend as well, which I'm a bit excited about. I haven't been away in ages. And I'll be going out to do some wildlife drawing. Very excited about that. I joined this live like 10 minutes ago and your painting already looks halfway done. You're really fast. Yeah, that's my problem. I am super duper fast. Like a lot of streams, I'll do 2 paintings or 2 drawings in a stream because I'm super fast. But that's, from years of practice of drawing, going to zoos and sitting there and drawing animals and trying to get them drawn while they stand still, which isn't very long usually. So I'm used to drawing very fast. Just going to darken up the bottom part of this beak. Coming down onto the point. Got to take that down a fraction more like that. Because I'm going to keep it simple. So he isn't that far from being done, to be honest. He isn't that far from being done. So I might have to think of something else to draw. Add some texture. whoops, around. He's got the white feathers. That sky looks kind of like a night sky. It's pretty. Oh, cool. Yeah, it literally is just, I just blobbed in blue watercolour. I just blobbed in the blue and we're good. Now, speaking of which, I've got to figure out, so I'm going back to the photograph. He's got like, he is a bit stronger on the top. I'm going to go bit of Indian red. We're going to go a bit of Indian red. It's a bit warmer. It's a bit of a warmer brown, reddy brown. Like Caput Mortem. Quite like that. It's there. Got to blend it a fraction. The trick is to not overdo it. And I do tend to I do that sometimes. It's to overdo things. Keep it simple. Got to darken up around the outer part of his little face there. He has got a little bit around his eye. Having a look. And I can see a little bit to darker, a little tiny touch coming down front of his face there. Just a touch. Right. I'm going to go a bit of a blue-grey on his feet, just on the underneath. Like that. Don't want to do too much. I'm going to use that same grey, quite diluted, but I'm going to draw over some of these feathers to give the texture at the bottoms of them. A bit more definition. Hold on, I've got to get a charger. You're all right, Dale. You're all right. Okay. Just continuing on. Just using the very tip of this brush. The very tip. My back while I was working on the floor slouched. Now my back feels much better in the chair. Oh, good. I haven't got any bendy bits. There's no way I could work on the floor or, no. I love sitting down. I'm a sitter downerer. I sit down and paint. I used to, when I went to art group, it was all standing, but I'm definitely a sitter downerer. I love comfort. And I have my easel I've got one of those tabletop easels that props up on an angle. Now I'm going to darken up under here. I'm going to use this blue-grey over the brown. This is where we start to get a little bit of definition. Start to look a bit more three-dimensional. Trying to see anywhere else he's got, and I can drag that out a little bit like that. I think I have to pop a little bit of that, very diluted, onto this wing underneath, just because that's in shadow there. Just using that blue-grey. I hate working in chairs just because I'm working. I need to be like overhead view of my art. That's why I'm back. My back feels so nice when I sit. Yeah. Yeah, see, I work with my arts, but my camera's sort of facing me. No, my board's sort of facing me. It's a tilted one. So, yeah, I can't draw flat down. I've got to have it tilted. I'm going to darken up all of this. I'm just going to drag that down now. I don't mind if there's a little bit of white paper showing. I can even strengthen some of the dark around him. I might even just add a little bit of this grey, blue-grey, The face, don't have a tilted board. Okay. RIP, you're back. Yeah, nah. I need my tilted board. And I've got, when I go to zoos and stuff, I've got like a backpack that's got a pallet that, not a pallet, an easel that pops out of the front of the backpack. So the front of the backpack, which would be a pocket, folds down into a drawing table, which is really cool. But for that, I do take a camera stand, and I do stand that on a camera stand. But I have a stool. I sit down. I'm just darkening shadow areas. Not going to do too much. Might add a bit of purple, you know. I might, you know what, because you go rogue. Add a bit of purple. Actually, I need a bluey purple, not that purple. I need a darker purple, like a deep purple. That's better. So I'll mix a bit of blue in there. Ooh, that went really dark purple. Okay, we're going to use that. Let's try that. Super beautiful, dark. It's going to spread out into that watery area. Just like that. Sometimes it's fun to add a little bit of a lively colour. I need, another problem about being an artist is I'm infectious. Oh, so I need like every detail. Yeah. No, I see. I've learnt to be a bit looser. I would like to be a photorealist like that. I would love to be able to do that, but no, I'm just too impatient. Just going to take that down the front of that wing. That is in shadow there. And the front of this one is in shadow. The leading edge. I'm not going to do much more than that though. I'm going to keep it quite simple. Got to get more water on that. That is very strong. Didn't mean it to be that strong. That's okay. Soften that line a little bit. Wet my brush because this is very staining colour. Okay. And I do use blues, a lot of blues for my shadows. All right, I'm going to pop a bit of that blue into his eye as well, just cause. I'm going to go clean the mess from my project. Oh, no, you're right, Dale. You're right. You do what you got to do. But I reckon I'm not far from calling that done, you know. That's very fast, but I'm not far from calling it done. Simple. To the point. It gets the impression across of what I'm trying to draw. We might have to draw another one. So I'm going to take the tape off the edge, try not to tear it. And find something else, or maybe another owl, because I should find another owl because I did say owls on my description. So I should find another owl drawing. So I'm just going to find another owl that I can use as a reference. Sorry, just Googling. Just good old Google. And see what comes up. And might draw just a headshot of one, maybe. Keep that nice and simple, like that. All right, I'm just going to screenshot. That's another. So the owl I did yesterday was like a horned owl or a barn owl. I might just do a little head picture. Get another bit of paper and start again, shall we? All right, so that's a nice simple owl. Like that. I'll grab another bit of paper. And so that took 45 minutes from start to finish. Very simple. Kept it super duper simple. So I'm going to stick my paper down here. Stick my other owl there for a second. Get my paper on sticky. and I dropped me tape. That's all right. I'll pick it up in a sec. Oops, it doesn't matter. It's not quite square. Ooh. Get it square. That's probably a good idea. There we go. Now, up there. Get my tape, which has fallen on the floor conveniently. All right. I'm just trying to, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out what watercolour I'm going to take camping with me, or take to draw with me. I don't know which paints I'm going to take. I can't take all of them. I would like to, but I won't. Okay. Always take my pens with me. I do have quite a few little sets. But there'll be lots of wild birds where I'm hoping to go. So, oops, and I dropped me bloody thing again. Go me. This time it ran into the corner. That would be right. At least I've got enough tape in my hand to cover that corner. There, like that. Okay. So now we're going to do another owl, but this time it's just going to be a head. So get a bit of... This is very similar to the one I drew yesterday, but this is going to be a much more realistic version. Much more realistic version, in theory. Famous last words. He's got two feathers on his ears, like that. He is very similar to the one I did yesterday, but see the difference. It's fun to do a realistic comparison to the cartoony looking one, or the not the hyper realistic one. All right. Get the basics in. His wing comes down there. He's got his face feathers come down here. Got to go. Okay, no worries, mate. You have a lovely day. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. All right. Now, his eye is in line with the front of his ear. He's got beautiful feathers here. Draw his iris in, his pupil, I mean. His pupils are much bigger than I've got them. Like that. Draw the line around the edge of his eye. They are more oval shaped than they are not round. Around there. Just going to erase the centre of that eye. Made it a bit messy. Just dab it like that. That's a bit better, I think. All right. Then he's got his wing is here. He's got lots of feather pattern here. Going to draw these patterns in. Coming up here. Excuse my little dog, he's barking at my daughter. All right. I'm going to just do some more feather detail on this ear feather. Hello, Bacon. How are you, mate? How are you? How'd No Man's Sky end up yesterday? Thought I'd do a realistic owl today. I did this one just before. Did this little one flying, little watercolour. And I thought I'm going to do very similar to the one I did yesterday, but a realistic one today, not a brightly coloured weird one. Just saying. I just had the need to draw something a bit more realistic in watercolour. So I've got my good old traditional watercolours back. Just going to draw these feathers in a little bit. I can go over them with colour anyway. One of my friends taught me this, that you can do your base drawing and then add your colour over the top. And just keep it simple, keep it more as if this is how I would draw if I was drawing out and about. I would do it, I would use this technique. I would do a base drawing and then just wash over the top. Now I've got to keep this colour coming down across his eye. Comes down here like that. And that comes down. Just going to draw his eye. I can erase all this if I don't like it at the end. I can erase it or dull it down. I just want to darken this bit. But I will go over the top. Filling it in a circular motion. Got to leave the white of the paper as the white because I'm not using the white paint today. Keep it traditional. There's a reflection in his pupil like that. Same on this one. Go around the outside of the eye. Just using little small circle motions. Like that. And come down and around. I do love drawing. I get quiet when I draw though. When I'm drawing properly, I get quiet. Sort of get focused. I do like that. That's coming up all right. And again, I'm just having a quick look at how his feathers go. Got to be always aware of the direction of things. His dark feathers come down around there like that and up onto the ear. Then it comes around this side of his face and down. Got to keep them going straight out, not downward like that. There we go. Like that. Do love to draw. Okay. Now do his beak. Why did that get scratchy all of a sudden? That was weird. Must have a little... Don't know. My pencil got all scratchy all of a sudden. It could just be the paper. It might be texture on the paper, to be honest. Because it's mostly smooth, but... He actually is very similar to the one yesterday, the reference I used. But this is a much more realistic picture. Got to erase a little bit. Actually, I'll do this here first. You can see these are darker feathers. Come up there like that, and then down the front, like that. And this one's the same. The tip of it's dark, like that. It splits into two. Come down. Comes onto his eye there, like that. That one. Okay, now he's darker. These darker feathers here. So I'll mark it. I'm going to mark them all in. Just colour them in with pencil. I'm going to watercolour over the top. Because why not? That's how I roll. Just remembering to go the direction of the feathers. Continue on. All right, now I'm going to just take this up a little bit lighter though, not as strong. Got to get more of a point on the tip of his beak. Make it a bit more defined like that. I will be going over the top of all of this so I can just draw in some of these details on these feathers here. These feathers sort of sprout out sideways a little bit. And he's got a bit of a white part around here. Then he gets darker. He's got like a beard almost. He's like a beardy owl. Just looking at shapes, patterns. Darker around there. He's actually got more brown in this part of his eye. So I'm going to draw in lines of the feathers around his eyes. And the trick is work top to bottom, because then you don't rest your hand in your drawing and smudge it. I sort of do it instinctively now with the drawing. Got to darken up under here too, because he's got shadow under there. Same on that side. Come down like that, and he's very dark. Coming down in there like that. All right. Now do the same thing on the other eye. He's very light feathered in there. So I'll just mark the edges of those. Like that. He's got a mottled back. That coming down and around. He's got a bit more white around here as well. So mark that in. His wings are beautiful. So this is his belly down here, and he's got little lines there. So I'll squiggle those in. Then these feathers are much darker. And they go straight down. Like that. I draw them in carefully. I've been less painting. All right. Continue on around. Following the shapes of the feathers. Now these wing feathers are beautiful. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do them. I've got to draw every individual feather because I want to show the downy sort of look of them. Because they've got such soft feathers. I had the pleasure of holding an owl once. They had a, whoops, daisy, my other owl fell off. They had a animal expo thing, and they had an owl that they were showing to everyone, and they sat him on my arm, and he was huge, huge, absolutely magnificent creature. Got the photos of it somewhere. Draw, and he's so mottled, like he's got so many colours on him. It's just magnificent. All right. It's really good when you love what you're drawing, when you love the subject, it makes life so much easier. I find when I'm not motivated, I'm drawing things that I don't like. Like I just draw for the algorithm, not for myself. I love to draw for myself like this. I'm doing this for myself. I just love this. All right, now he's got lots of little stripes. And he's got them going down his back as well. All right, I'm pretty happy with that as a drawing, I think. So now I'm going to do the background. So I'm going to grab me a bit of cloth. I'm going to do a green background for this one. I'm going to go in with a dark green. Big dark green, mega dark green. And we're going to go dry onto wet, wet onto dry, I mean. So cut around the edges there. Like that. Come right in close. Get a bit more water on my brush. Like that. Come around. I can do a few. I might do a second layer of this as well, just because I can. To vary up the background a little. Got to be a bit careful here. Come down the outside edge. Try not to get it onto his feathers. that, and then I'll cut around the outside. Okay, now I'm going to go back while it's still damp and drop in some more. Okay, I might add a bit of blue to the green to darken that up, and add a bit more green. And just make a really dark green around the outside of him. I'll just model it into the background so it looks like there's cut right around the edge of him. I'm not going to do it modelled everywhere else. Just going to cut around the outside, leave it a little bit jaggedy. That. I'm just going to dampen, drag it around the edges a little bit. My paper dried almost instantly. All right. Drag that around like that. I don't mind that at all. All right, now around this side. Just have to let Bear out in a second. I'm sorry, Bear, you're going to have to wait a minute because I've got to get this down onto the paper first. Sorry, matey. You're going to have to wait just a minute. It's all right, buddy. I'm coming. Cutting in around the edge of his head. Just there. And around the edge of that feather. That. Come into this ear here. Might have to try an acrylic owl as well. Haven't done one in ages. Okay, that's going to do. Now I've got to let my little dog out. Just bear with me a second. There we go. Okay. Now, I've got to let that dry a little. So, I'm going to go onto the eyes. I'm going to grab my middle-sized brush. I'm going to get a fresh, clean bit of cloth. And I'm going to go into the eyes to start. I've got to let that background dry quite thoroughly. Okay. I'm going to go in with like an orange. Yellow first, actually. I might go yellow first. Get some yellow on my brush. Not rest my hand in my painting. And pop this yellow in. Leaving a little bit of a highlight. The white of the paper. Like that. Okay. That's okay. Now I'm going to go into my orange. And while that's still wet, blob that in, let it flow. Being careful to leave a little bit of white of the paper. Just a little bit. Drag that around itself like that. Take it right around the pupil on the inside. Just leave a little bit of a sparkle on the outside. That's all. Okay, now I'm going to go into the grey of his beak. Get a bit of silvery grey. And do his beak. Leaving the white of the paper. Actually, I might do that just a more pale grey. At the end, I won't leave that white. I'll just clean my brush, dampen it, and just drag my brush down, and that just tints the paper a little bit. That's all right, that worked. All right, Now I've got to wait for that to dry. I can start working around the edge of the eyes. I'm going to use my transparent sienna. I've got to clean my palette a fraction. Clean my palette just a fraction. Because I've got all colours everywhere. Grab my transparent sienna. And a little bit of yellow ochre, I think. Same colours I used yesterday, but just a different slightly different watercolour. I'm going to work around the direction of the feathers. Leaving a little bit of light around the edges. Like that. Okay. Same on the other eye, get a bit more water. A little bit more water on my brush. Do the first layer quite light, leaving a little bit of light around the edge again, the eye. Like that. Okay. Now I can go in with a bit stronger pigment, a little bit more pigment, just around the darker areas. So it's exactly the same colour, just less water. The trick is with watercolour is learning your thickness, like your intensity of water. So you can have hot, wet on dry. Got to wait for your paper to dry. You can work wet in wet, which is wet paint with wet paper. I work a lot wet on dry, so dry paper, wet paint. There's all different techniques you can use. Okay, I'm going to let the dog in. Oh, Pippi. Oh, okay. He barks. I'm going to have to kick her out. Actually, I'm going to go and get him a chewy. Come on, I'll get you a chewy before you start barking, Pippi. Got chewies each. And I'm going to go a little bit of a stronger, I might go that Indian red. A beautiful warm reddy brown around the outside of his facial feathers. Try and keep him soft looking. Like that. Okay, starting to come to life a little bit now. I'm just having a look, he's dark. I've got to do these lines down here. Go back to my transparent sienna. Get that quite watery. Get another bit of cloth. And I've got to take that. Might even go a bit of gold. I've got a bit of quinacridone gold. It's a lovely colour, but actually that will work for his feathers on his ears up here. Because that background's pretty much dry. Still stay away from the edges of it just for a little bit. Okay. Pop a little bit of this gold, quinacridone gold in here. And I'm going to come around his face. Like that. He does have quite a bit of gold in his featherage. All right. I'm going to pop this. I'm going to follow his feathers around the back of his head. I will leave a little bit of the white. Come down the back there, like that. Keep it soft. Got to be careful not to touch the green just yet. Use the tip of my brush. I'm just going to create a wash. A soft golden wash there, like that. I literally just tinted the water just a little bit. Let that flow down a bit. Whoops, I've got to get it out of the white. Don't want it in there. Okay, that's all right. Now, I'm also going to do a wash of that gold. Get it very diluted. Bring it down onto his body. Down here. Looks very green on the camera, but it's not. It's gold. But it does look green on camera. I might go over it with quinacridone. Not quinacridone, with transparent sienna. Just to lift it a bit. Like that. Just going to go wet that a bit. Drag that around. I'll add some feathery details over the top at the end. Get a very diluted wash. Come down the front of him now. That. Super diluted over the top of his whole wing. I'll leave a little splodges of white here and there. A little bit. I'm going to wet the paper here and just drop in transparent sienna. Let that flow down a little bit. Hello, Avocado. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. Because yesterday I did a more fun, sort of whimsical one. Today I thought I'd do a more realistic one. Keep me on my toes. And this is one I did earlier. I did a little one flying. That was the first one I did this morning. Thank you for following. Thank you so much. So yeah, so that's the first one I did this morning. And I thought because yesterday I did a whimsical fun one, but I really, really was yearning to do a nice detailed one. Very well. How's your week? My week is awesome, mate. Thank you. My week is awesome. Coming to an end. But I've had a good week artistically, and just everything's been good. Life is good. No complaints. What about yourself, Dale? How's your week been? And I'm going to go drawing at the weekend, so I'm a bit excited about that. I'm going to go out and do some wildlife in nature, which will be lovely. Now, his eyes are dry. I'm a bit excited because I'm going to go a bit stronger with the orange in his eye. Just around the top, being careful to leave the little tiny snips of light of the paper. Love that green. Thank you. That is, what is it? I'll tell you what it is. It's Schminky, and it's Viridian green, and I mixed it with some indigo to make it darker because I love green. I do love it. Green's my favourite colour. I think it is. Yes, it is. Now, I've got to go darker brown on his feathers on his wings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be a bit cheeky here because my paper is drying. Ooh, that's too much. My paper is drying as fast as I wet it. So whereabouts in the world are you from, Avocado? I'm going to go in with burnt umber. Get some burnt umber on my thingy, on my palette. I'm going to drop in a little bit of burnt umber onto these wing feathers. And try keep the feathers soft. So wet the paper, grab my burnt umber and drop the paint in. Being careful not to let it run everywhere. Just going to get it onto these feathers. I'll go another layer, slightly darker, towards the end. I'm hailing in all the way from Birmingham. Wow, cool. Oh, how are you going with the cold weather? You guys have been hit hard with the cold, haven't you? We've been hit hard with heat because we're in summer here, so we're polar opposite. But yeah, we've had intense heat. We actually had the hottest day in recorded history in the lower part of the country. We got to 50 degrees Celsius, which was pretty bloody awful. Really nice to start. I really want to move to England and be in the cooler weather, thanks. I'm coming over there. My idea of heaven is cold and snow. Maybe not 20 feet of it, but cold and snow. Lots of rain. Oh, I love rain. Rain is my favourite. I love rain. I love listening to storms. Love a storm. Love a good storm. Gotta say, love a good storm. So I'm just working through. So you an artist as well? Or what's your thing? Just got to darken up. You know what I should do? I shouldn't. I'm going to do what I just did. I'm going to wet and let it run over the pencil. You can still see the pencil drawing. I'm just going to drop some paint in. I want to keep them soft and I'll do the detail over the top at the end. I'm fiddling with techniques here. Trying different techniques to get effects. Yeah, we've got a weekend of 40 degrees coming up where I'm going. So, a bit cooler than 50, which is always a good thing. Got to darken up a little bit up here. We're starting to get 50 degrees is crazy. I think the hottest I've experienced was 40. Yeah, the temperatures have just risen. The last 10 years or so, our temperatures have risen dramatically. And we're getting weeks of 30 plus, 40, like this weekend up north is 40 degrees constantly. Minimum 40. So, and where I'm going this weekend is going to be 40. For the whole weekend pretty much. I was in Sweden last month and that was minus 14 Celsius. Oh, see, I'd love that. I would love that. When I grow up, I'm going there. Just saying. Okay, so I'm going to darken up this just in here. He's got mainly white, which I'm going to use a bit of blue for shadow on his feathers on his chest and that. I've just got to darken up these ones a little. He's got darker brown feathers. Not darker brown. He's got golden feathers here. Like that. And then I'll go in with my burnt umber. Just blob in a few little bits to show the little random feathery marks. And I forgot the top. I'm a terrible drawer painter, but I am a filmmaker. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So tell me about your films. Do you have a YouTube channel? Do I need to follow? Do you do filmmaking on YouTube? As close as I come to filmmaking is editing videos for YouTube. That's it. I'm going to darken up some of these on his face now. Start to build up the stronger tones. And I'm a shocking editor. I do everything very basic. Very basic. Darken up some of these little feathers coming out here. It's coming together. Coming together. I've got to go dark. I've got to go my burnt umber. I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to be patient with myself and take my time with this one because I'm very fast. I'm going to try and get more detail because I did one yesterday and he was much more abstract. He was quite abstract actually. But I do want to get more detail on this little muffin. Drawing, I'm leaving the pencil marks visible for a reason. come down onto his eye there. Whoops. His feathers changed direction there a little bit. I don't have a YouTube channel yet, but I should definitely get some of my stuff onto that. Yes, you absolutely should. Never too late to start. Never too late to start. I started in my 50s. So, never too late. And it's been so much fun. So I stream on Twitch and YouTube. So highly recommend it. Highly recommend doing it. Because you meet some lovely people like you, Avocado. So you get to meet lots of people. I'm going to go over this now with a little bit more detail. Never too late to move to the cooler weather then. Well, no, this is true. This is very true. We have a state here called Tasmania that is always cooler, much cooler than everywhere else in Australia. And my dream is to go and live there. Definitely. I would love to live in Tasmania because it's cooler, it's forested. It's just, I mean, it's still probably hotter than most parts of the world, but but it's generally cooler than Australia, the mainland. But yeah, I'd like to go live there when I'm done with being here. Okay, now I'm mixing my blue with burnt umber to make a very dark, almost black brown. And I'm going to go into his iris pupils. Sorry, not his irises, his pupils. Trying not to hit the white that I left of the paper. Whoops. Losing control of my circle. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, we're good. We're good. We saved it. You can call me Sam. You are very friendly. Oh, thank you. Well, Sam, I'm Jen. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I love a chat. This is another reason I love YouTube and Twitch, because I love a chat. I really enjoy talking while I work. I'm one of those people that never shuts up. So yeah, and I've met so many lovely people here on YouTube and on Twitch. Do you have a reference for this, or is it just out of... Oh, God, no. Yeah, no. I do have references. I have like 2 or 3 different references. I actually just Googled this one and modified it a bit for myself. But yeah, I work from references or nature. Like, so this weekend I'm going drawing just wildlife. I'm going to go out up north where there's lots of native animals, and I'm just going to sit and draw them in their habitat. It's going to be this weekend. But yeah, I work from reference. Absolutely. I haven't got a very vivid imagination. So still it's superb. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I had an imagination to do characters and things. I just don't. Okay, so his eyes are looking all right. We're getting there. I'm going to add a bit of red. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to wreck it. Famous last words. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a bit of red there. And I'm like, no, don't do it. Not yet, because I'll end up wrecking him. I've got to wait until he's a little bit drier to pop some red around his eyes. I've got to add some grey, some blue grey. I've got a lovely blue grey. It's like, I don't even know what it is. I have no idea what colour it is. Because the numbers, because this palette that I'm working with is like 15 years old. The paint's on it at 15 years old. So, of course, I wrote down all the colours and what they were. But, of course, that's long since worn off. So I've got no bloody idea now what they are. I'm just sort of guessing they're blue greys and stuff. I'm going to come down here. And you can tell my favourite colours are golds and browns. Golds, browns and blues. I can use the very tip of my brush. See what I've done? I've totally gone off track. I need to use this brown. I've got to darken up now. These feathers, his markings around his feathers on his head and his body, and he's got lots and lots of little dots. Got to always just remember the direction things go. Because if you go the wrong direction with your detail, it looks wrong. You can pretty much, like the one I did yesterday was more abstract, but he still looked right. His feathers still looked right because I had him go in the right direction. It's easy sometimes to forget and use your brush strokes the wrong way. Just going to go dots. Having a quick look at the reference again. Yeah, I've got my iPad sitting up in front of me so I can look up just with my eyeballs. Just with my eyeballs. And do it that way. I've got to find an art show actually to go to because I haven't been to an art show, and that's a good motivation to keep painting as well and to try and get better with your painting. I used to do lots of art shows with one of my friends. I have to join groups again and find out. After COVID, I sort of stopped. I'm going to go this dark. Got to darken up these ear feathers a little bit. Just the tip. You get a few different colours going through it. So there's lots of golds and browns. Now I'm going to use, I've got to do all these little dotty bits using the very tip of my brush. I've used like 2 brushes. This shows you don't need a lot of products. You need one good set of paint, nice quality, the best you can afford. I always recommend get the best you can afford with watercolours. Because it really does make a difference. I've tried cheap watercolours and they're awful. They just don't work the same. I have a lot of, as I have lots of film photos, that would be good. Oh, see, this is, see, oh, yeah. References. My daughter gave me her old, she had a Canon EOS and she gave it to me. So I do take lots of photos now. Because I've got to get more. I do have to get more, lots more photos of references and stuff. But I've got to go under here with a bit stronger grey. I'm going to go back to my blue grey that I had. I'm going to clean my brush. Now my water's all dirty, which is really helpful. Not. Should always have a clean thingy of water, and of course I don't, because I've stuck my brushes in all of it, because that's how I roll. Organised chaos, it is my world. Just got to darken up. He's got a bit of a shadow under here. Got to get his shadow so he looks 3-dimensional. Just a wash of shadows under there. But yes, do you do, like, because there's, I get my references off Unsplash and Pixabay, which are royalty free. So people post their photos, and they also have a sales section, so you can sell your photos on there. But they have the free, like, just to get you interested, they have the ones that they give away. And that's where I get a lot of my references as Unsplash, Pixabay, those sort of places. Yeah, I actually use Pixabay all the time to find cheap video effects. Oh, there you go. See, that's where I get a lot of my stuff. A lot of my references are Pixabay. If I want wildlife from other countries, like zebras and lions and things like that, they're all Pixabay and Unsplash. Whoops, I just stuck my doodah in the wrong thingy. It's got to darken up now. Get a bit more detail into these feathers. Being very careful. Yeah, and Unsplash is really good. So what do you use to edit your videos with? Are you a God. I've gone completely blank. Hello, man boob. Great name. Love it. That made me laugh. You must be Australian to be man boob. That's fantastic on so many levels. As I didn't realise it. You Kiwi? Okay, cool. Cool. My other favourite place that I could live on earth, oh my God, I went South Island a few years ago and absolute heaven on earth. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, oh my God, we went South Island and heaven on earth. You live in, and I was just saying to Avocado that I love the cold weather and Tassie, I could move to Tassie, but you know what? On second thought, no, I'm moving to New Zealand when I grow up, of course. But yeah, gorgeous part of the world, mate. Gorgeous part. Are you north? South Island is inbred. That's it, mate. That's everywhere. Don't worry about it. That happens everywhere. We have that joke about Tasmanians. It's okay. You're not alone. It's an eternal struggle. It's an eternal struggle. At least you can laugh about it, eh? I used DaVinci Resolve. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I've gone completely blank because I'm in drawing mode. My brain stops thinking about anything external. What is it called? It's the one that comes with Photoshop. I use that one. What's it called? Oh my God! Hang on, I'm gonna look at my thing. Hang on, I'm gonna check out my thing. Adobe. I use Premiere Pro. That's the one. Premiere Pro. I've just got to clean my palette because I've now mixed all my paints in all the palettes, in all the holes. I've got all the colours in everything. How not to do this is to mix all your palettes, paints everywhere. So I'll just clean that off, shall I? And chuck that in the bin, not on the floor, and grab a nice clean piece of cloth. Okay. And so what do you do, man boob? That is a great name. What's your thing? I'm going to go a bit of blue, a bit of brown to make a stronger dark. Oh, and yeah, bit of blue, bit of brown to make a dark grey. Bit more blue. There we go. Can't stand Premiere. It's very slow, but I'm very inexperienced, so I just used what I knew worked. I've got for my YouTube, I tend to use for my time lapses and stuff. I use KineMaster, which is an Apple product, which I love, and I use that for very fast editing. It uploads quick. It's really good. I love man boob. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Man boob made me laugh. It's awesome. I love how inventive some people are. I just use my actual name. Boring. I'm going to go back to my Burnt Umber, get that into my other palette. I've got to darken up a little bit. I can go over this whole thing with a bit of a wash anyway. Just got to try and get everything looking right. Get my dots all around here. So are you an artist, man boob, at all? Or what do you do? What's your thing? Music, we've got Avocado's a videographer, filmmaker. We've got another mate in chat who's a gamer. I love games too, by the way. Love games. Lots of my mates are gamers. I wonder what man boob would draw if man boob drew. That's like a tongue twister. What would a man boob draw if a man boob could draw boobs? No, well, probably not. Well, probably boobs. But there we go. A booby bird. Remember that? Because that's wildlife. That's legit. A booby bird. There you go. They're like a really funny looking bird out in the ocean. Fantastic. So now I'm sort of up to the details. So do either of you, do you guys game at all? That is the cutest emote, I have to say, man boob. That is the cutest emote. Do you stream? Do you do games? Or anything? Or all the things? All of the above. I've got to draw in these dots. Coming down here. I'm quite happy with how this is coming along, actually. Surprisingly, I've just jinxed myself by saying I'm happy with it because now I'm going to ruin it because that's how I roll. Oh, I've got a creamy soda. I just realised I'm thirsty. I forgot I was thirsty. I'm just going to have a drink. Just bear with me for a second. Oh no! I just sat me dirty doodah on me other owl. Oh, there's my other owl, by the way. Man boob. Did that owl earlier this morning. Play a little Minecraft. Nice. Yeah, I got into cozy games for a while there, but I do love a looter shooter and a bit of a horror. So I've played all the Resident Evils. Love them. I am doing Div 2 at the moment. I love a bit of Call of Duty. Haven't played Call of Duty in a while though, but love a bit of Call of Duty. Love a shooter looter. I can work my way around the outside. Never played Minecraft, but my daughter does, and I used to watch her play it, and it was good fun. Oh, and Red Dead 2, Red Dead Redemption, loved that. That was a beautiful game. Oh my God, that scarred me though. I cried for months after that. I still can't bring myself to play it again because I got so sad at the end. I got really attached to the characters in the game. There's a few good games coming out now this year. Got to go, unfortunately, but this has been lovely. Thank you, Avocado. No, absolutely. It's been lovely to meet you. I'll be streaming most days, so hopefully I'll catch you again, but I'll definitely see you in the chat on your channel. How often do I stream? I try to stream most days, but it's erratic. I'm all over the place because I've got kids, grandkids. I'm all over the place with my streaming, and I work a couple of days a week, but I try to stream most days at about this time. I usually am mornings. I'm not a night person. I turn into a pumpkin late, so yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to most days. I'm trying to get back into a routine. So hopefully I shall see you soon. I might even chuck a stream in this weekend. I don't know. I'm going to do wildlife drawing, but I'm taking all my gear with me. So I might even get a stream in while I'm away. Show you a bit of the Australian countryside. Maybe. Maybe, baby. We shall see. See how the mop flops and how bloody hot it is. Okay. I'm liking him. He's looking good. We're getting there. Oh, he's a cute little face. But yes, lovely to have you here, Dole, and thank you for hanging out. And have a great day, night, whatever it is. I think it's nighttime or morning, early morning, like it's 3 a.m. or something ridiculous there, isn't it? I can't stay up late. I turn into a pumpkin. Like legit. I just can't do it. I had friends who I used to game with in England, and I stayed up till 4 a.m. to game with them once. And that was the most I could, that was just insane. I think I paid for about a week. I couldn't get my routine back. We played Red Dead together, and that was good fun. They were my English buds. It's only 11 p.m, but I'm getting sleepy. No, that's all right. I'm usually in bed like 12 o'clock. 9 o'clock. I'm a 9 o'clock person, not a 12 o'clock person. But yeah, no, if you got to do things, you got to sleep. So good night, mate, and thank you. It's going to darken up. bottoms of some of these feathers. I've made a bit of a mess down here. But I should just not worry and just let the effects do their thing. Not worry too much about it. Let the watercolour do what watercolour does. Oh, I see what I haven't done. Duh. I've got to add the dark dots. But I've got to let it dry a little bit. These feathers have all got dots on them. Yeah, I'm an early morning person, but I go to bed early, but I wake up early. Because I'm on a farm too. I tend to wake up at like 5 a.m. Get me day started. That's a bit better. That looks a bit better. Now I can go back onto his eyes and I'm going to go a little bit of magenta onto his eyes, I think, or maybe not. Maybe I'll go a bit of a orange deep because he's got just at the top of his eye a little bit darker. I just want to add that little bit of red. The top part. The top of his eyes are darker. Leaving the highlight though. There we go. All right, that's looking all right. We're looking all right. We're getting there, peeps. We're getting there. Now I've got to add these dots onto his ear feathers. Like that. He doesn't have those dots just here, but he's got the lines of his feathers. I'm just going to suggest them in. Like that. And come down. I've got to put some of these nicer, lighter red, brown dots. He's got these dots that go all across his back as well. Like that. And I've just realised I haven't taken the colour down to the edge of the page. So I'm just going to quickly just wash in a bit of red brown down here. Like that. Just take that into the corner of the page. Drag it in like that. And then I've got to go some dark. I'll go the burnt umber. Let that flow down a bit. Like that. Let it do its thing. Get these feathers down here. Wings are hard. Wings are hard. Oh, sorry, Bear, my little dog's at my feet. Put my foot near him. Got to forget what it is and just focus on shapes. Forget what it is, because if you think about what it is all the time, you end up making a mess and do too much fiddling and fussing. Okay. I am also going to add a little bit of warmth to that. Might even go a little bit of orange. Whoops, a daisy. Pick it up with my cloth. Always have a bit of cloth handy in my hand. Just want to get a bit of bright back into these feathers. Like that. A bit into his chest as well. Like that. And he's also got a bit of that around here. A little bit here. All right, and a little bit onto his head. He's got a bit more orangey gold around here. Just add a bit of warmth to him. Like that. We're getting there, peeps. He's not far from done. Add a bit of that orange around the back. Like that. Onto his back. That brings him together a bit more. A little bit more down here. Excuse me, my doggo. My little dog's decided he's going to have a conversation with my son-in-law. Oops. Okay. I reckon he's done. I reckon he's done. I'm going to sign it and I'm going to call it done. So I'm happy with that. 26. There we go. So that is done. I'm going to take the edges off so we can all see how pretty he looks without his edges. Try not to tear, because I have done that before and been very devastated when I've torn it a lovely piece. Ooh, I don't know what happened there, but that's okay. Oh no, there's a bit of tape there. I just didn't see it. There we go. Okay, so I am going to call that done. Oh, nearly tore it. Nearly tore him. Oh, that was close. Okay. So that is my finished owl. So thank you so much for hanging out and watching and having a chat. I've loved every second of it. You guys and girls are a world of awesome and make my artistic day. So I'll be back hopefully over this weekend because today's Friday here. So hopefully over this weekend I'll be back. It might be a live in the Aussie Outback. We shall see how we go because I've got Starlink now so I can stream up wherever I am. So I will say thank you and thank you for hanging out and I will see you all for the next video, hopefully this weekend. If not, definitely Monday, Tuesday.